Shalom, 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 brothers and sisters. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahushua. Captain Benaniah with the battle axes of the Most High, coming to you with another first day of the week Q&A class, Sunday smoke. Like I say, who wants to smoke? Any questions, comments, things that's going on in the earth and prophecies? That's what we're here to discuss. Had a great class with Captain Yard yesterday. Kind of want to always continue in that same spirit. Hope brothers and sisters had a great Sabbath. Shalom, Brother Ray. Battle Axes, Minnesota. Shalom, Brother Jose. Battle Axes in California. Shalom. Like we said, we know there's many things going on in the earth. Shalom, shalom. Brother Daniel, house of Brother Daniel, Sister Mary Houston. Shalom, Sister Danielle. Shalom. The brothers and sisters that's tuning in. We know about the manifold prophecies that are going on in the earth. We know how things are coming to the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Shalom, Yakal, chosen Gadai. Shalom, shalom. We know about these things. We want to make sure that brothers and sisters stay prepared in their walk. Stay trying to overcome the spirits that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. You know, not getting caught slipping. You know, staying in the spirit as much as you can, reading, praying, fasting. Yeah, most definitely. Go ahead, Brother Jose. He said, I got a question. Acts chapter 16, verse 6. I've been asking everyone, but no one know why the Holy Spirit prevented Paul from going to Asia. Well, the thing is, sometimes the Spirit will let you know. It's what people will call like a conscience or your sixth sense. You know, so it's no definite answer. The Spirit can kind of compel you to talk to people about the truth. I'm pretty sure every brother or sister done experienced that. You know, you may want to tell a brother or sister about the truth, but the Spirit won't let you. You know, because the Spirit guides all things, man. You know, so the Spirit let you know when to make a move and when not to make a move. So there's nothing deep about it. You know, like I said, Shalom, Sister Janice, I know people do it all the time. You know, even at my job, especially at certain times, you may encounter a brother or sister that may say something about the Bible, and us being in the truth, you know, we always want to talk about the Bible, but it may not be the right place. So the Spirit will kind of hold you back from going further into it. I know, prime example, I was at my job and I had just started working, and one of my co-workers was talking about Christmas. I was like, no, I don't celebrate Christmas. He was like, what? You ain't gonna celebrate Jesus' birthday? And I was gonna tell him what Bible verse say that it's Jesus' birthday, but the Spirit held me back from answering that. You know, remember, the Holy Spirit gives us understanding as well on how to move in the society. But let's read Acts 16 and 6. I hope you understand it. I don't want to be long-winded. This is the book of Acts chapter 6. This is going into Timothy joining Paul and Silas. This is the book of Acts chapter 16 and verse 6. And it's going into Paul's Macedonian vision. Salakia. Now, when they had gone throughout Phrygia and the region of Galatia, they were forbidden of the Holy Ghost to preach the word in Asia. So sometimes the Spirit will let you know and guide you in certain directions to go. You know, the Spirit didn't allow them to go into Asia. When it talks about Asia, it's not literally the continent of Asia. This is talking about Asia Minor. So it's just modern day Asia Minor would be certain places in Turkey. So not that it's literally Asia. And this is what you have to understand as well. When it's talking about Asia in the scriptures, it's talking about Asia Minor. Places that are in modern day Turkey today. I hope you understand that. Says Cap, if you have a chance, can you just touch on the 7-day Sabbath only acts to get even more clarification? Well, yeah, it's always a topic that comes up, sis. And like how we tell brothers that do follow us, we keep it simple. Like we always say, sis, when we go back to the book of Genesis, The Most High God created the moon. If the 7-day Sabbath is based upon the moon, then brothers will be 4 days off. So, what day? Let me ask you, Sister Danielle. What day did the Most High God create the moon and the sun? What day was the moon and the sun created? What day? So, if brothers and sisters understand this, that would help you understand why we keep the 7-day Sabbath. So let me ask you, Sister Danielle, put it in the chat. What day was the sun and the moon created, sis? Because I know a lot of times, if brothers and sisters don't know, that'll be hard for you to kind of understand, and that's the simplest day. What day, Sister Danielle? Put in the chat. I see you, Brother Jamar. I see y'all. So yes, correct, sis. I want to make sure sister understood it. The 4th day. Now let's read it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 16. We're going to get straight to the point. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. So these 2 great lights is going into what? The sun and the moon. He made the stars also. So he made the stars also in the firmament of what we would call space. It says, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night. So we see that the sun rules over the day, the moon rules over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And he saw that it was good. This is the point, verse 19. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. So we see that the Most High God created the sun and the moon on the 4th day. So if brothers that are following the lunar Sabbath, this is when they will start counting. But this is the key. When we keep reading in context, when we jump over to verse 2, to chapter 2 and verse 3, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 3, and God blessed the 7th day. I'm going to jump up to verse 2. Start at verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, God ended his work that he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from his work, which he made. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, Sister Yaya. So we see 3 days later, remember, this is still in Eunice. He still had a what? He rested on that day. This is the Most High God instituting the 7th-day Sabbath. 4th day, we had the sun and the moon made. 3 days later, we had a what? 7-day Sabbath, showing you that the moon is not dictated by the 7-day Sabbath is not dictated by the moon. It's not dictated by the moon. And this is where brothers and sisters keep going off to where when they pull in the book of Sirach, chapter 43, we understand that the moon does dictate high holy days. But remember, it's different Sabbaths and they're celebrated differently. No. I understand, sis. I totally understand. This is what this is for, to give you just a little more basic breakdown. So we see on the 4th day, the sun and the moon was created. 3 days later, it still had a 7-day Sabbath. Israel by birth, he says, not true that Sabbath was the Most High rest day, not for man. Remember, who do we follow? We follow the Most High. That's the point. We follow the Most High. So we still see, even in that, Israel by birth. What do you do with the moon and the sun being created on the 4th day, though? Because we still see that. Remember, it's different type of Sabbaths. So even when you read the book of Genesis chapter 2, I mean, come on, man. What day do we rest on? We always rest on the 7th day. That still was instituted. So you still can't get outside of that, no matter how you trying to cut it. I mean, and that's plain. We don't make it no harder than what it is. Now, Israel by birth, you say you celebrate it. Hey, every man has to be fully persuaded in his own mind. But when we read at Battle Axes Genesis chapter 1, verse 16, sun and the moon created on the 4th day. Then 3 days later, he rested on the 7th day. Come on, that should be obvious. That should be obvious. You understand that, Sister Danielle? And that's just a quick little breakdown. We have classes to where you can go in depth on that. That's just a quick breakdown. So we know that it is other Sabbaths. But like we say, the 7-day Sabbath is not dictated by the moon. And we understand what brothers bring out. I know our brothers from I know Brother Jamal says, so we follow the Gregorian calendar. What calendar is the best way? No, we follow the Most High God's calendar. So when you come into the truth, and I know you fairly new, Brother Jamal, remember, we base these things upon the moon. The Gregorian calendar is not based upon the moon. So remember, we follow these things to an extent because we're in this captivity. So remember, we like if you at your job, like my job, I have to do a lot of writing. I have to put this day down. In my mind, I understand what day it really is. You know what I'm saying? So that's where your logic has to stand. Remember, the moon dictates these things, man. Yeah, come. It says, when you are told to work 6 days, how is that positive if you have 8-day Sabbaths? I don't understand what you're saying. It says, when you are told, yeah, kind of explain it, Brother Jose. It says, when you are told to work 6 days, how is that positive if you have 8-day Sabbaths? Yeah, I don't understand it. Kind of clarify that for me out. Let's go to because we know that the moon is a declaration of times. Oh, that's what you're saying. Yeah, I don't see that Israel by birth, because you're saying that that's the Most High, but we follow the Most High. That's the point. Like, who we gonna follow, man or the Most High? Even in Acts chapter 5, verse 29, it's saying it plain, we are to obey God rather than men. So the Most High God always sets the tone for the law. So I mean, there's no way you can kind of get around that. What you mean if the moon is on the 4th day? Remember, so it's dictated. So I don't know, brothers and sisters. Let me see if I could pull this up real quick. It's like your brothers and sisters, that's where I have to get better at. Shalom, Brother Don Israel. Let's see. Because I don't have my damn tabs pulled up. Window. Yeah, I don't even want to do it. To show you. So even like how we tell brothers and sisters, I don't know, brothers and sisters have that on your app. It's an app called damn, I lost my train of thought. Lunar. I type in new moon for the month. New moon month for December. Or phases of the moon for the phases of the moon for the month of December. That's the one I like to go to. So we have in December, I want to pull this up for y'all. Nah, because that'll be a lot. So we see that we had a new moon on. Where my calendar at too? Send that calendar to me. So we just had a new moon. Basically, we had 2 new moons in the month of December because of Esau's how they have it set up with the 31st days. And as we know that it's only 30 days in a month when you read the book of Genesis. But I want to Shalom, Sister Hannah. How you doing, sis? No, we understand man's calendar is the Gregorian calendar, brother, but we go by our calendar is not based upon that, brother. That's the point. We know we follow the new moon calendar. So we just had a new moon on basically what the December 1st. So we understand that, brother. Yeah, we don't see that as that because I know the points that Aknem bring up. Like, how can we not think that they hadn't changed that cycle? It hadn't been interrupted. But when we read the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25, Esau cannot offset what the Most High God had ordained. They can only change our minds the way we think about it. So, brother, if you celebrate the new moon lunar, do your thing. We're not forbidding you to do that. But just because you say that, my mind is fully persuaded in the 7-day Sabbath, so we fully persuaded in that. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25. And this is the point. We know about the Gregorian calendar. We know about these things, but I mean, it's hard to get around in the book of Genesis. That's pretty plain. I would say brothers would have a point. And this is something that we always say. Brothers would have a point that the Most High God created the sun and the moon on the 4th day. That point will be perfect. Brothers would understand that. But by it not being that and on the 4th day, I mean, that's plain us. Oh, they ain't short as hell. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25, and it reads, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change times and laws." So we know that they really can't offset what the Most High God ordained. All they did was change the way we think about keeping God's high holy days. They put certain things in, but we know that the Most High God is bringing the truth of the Bible, and he's setting things right back side up. It says, "And shall think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand unto a time and times, and a dividing of times." A times is 100, times is 200 and half, 350 years. They had to destroy us, mainly from 1619 all the way up until right now. You know what I'm saying? They destroyed our people. So now that's why we have the mindset of the Gregorian calendar. But as we come into the truth, let's go to the book of Psalms 85 and 11. As we come into the truth and wake up to the knowledge of who we are, Most High God pulls those things back. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 85 and verse 11. And it reads, "Truth shall spring out of the earth." So now we know by us keeping the commandments, we understand that guess what? God's calendar is based upon the new moon. It says, "Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven." So now we're starting to get the correct understanding. So even by brother saying that, it just we don't get outside of Genesis chapter 1 verse 16 and Genesis chapter 2 verse 2. It says, Brother Jose said, "New moons is your first day you can cook on that Sabbath. After day 2 is the Sabbath." Brother Jose, you got the whole love. Some of the stuff you're saying is confusing me. It said new moons is your day 1. You can cook on that Sabbath. And day 2 is the Sabbath. Yeah. Remember, new moons, that's the same thing. So you don't want to confuse the people in here. So it said new moons is your day one. You can cook on that Sabbath. After that, day two is the Sabbath. Remember, the first day of even is the second day. And I don't know if brothers and sisters really fully understand that concept. So the Most High God said the evening and the morning was the first day. Says you can cook on new moons, you can't cook on the Sabbath. You're a cook. Yeah, no, that's right. Says you're a good teacher, Ak, but this Friday, the Saturday, Ak, is a slave doctrine. Well, no, I don't see that, Ak. You know, we appreciate that we have differences, Ak. It's not a big deal. Like we say, you have to be solely persuaded in your own mind. And I am, Ak. It says, can I be a cop while still in the truth? Yeah, Ak. Yeah. You can still be a police. We have brothers that were police officers in the truth. Why can't you be? So we even have examples of that with Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel was what you would call a modern day secret service man. So he's the one that guarded the body of the king. What would we call that today? A secret serviceman. And guess what? He was in the truth. It's just his profession. That's all that it is. Let's go get there. Let's go to the book of First Ezra. So yeah, I don't see why not. Strength of one, cleave, have dominion, women. Let me keep looking. They had the guards over the king body. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. That was some first ever. Somebody looked that up for me. Guarded the king's body. Thought it was like in 4 or 2. Enter the building. Yes, okay, it is chapter 3. This is the book of First Ezra, chapter 3. We're gonna get straight to it. The book of First Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 4, and it reads, then 3 young men there were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another. So we know this going into a contest out of these 3 men. One of these 3 men was Zerubbabel. Person that keeps the king's body is his bodyguard, is his guard. So when you bring it up to today, this will be the equivalent of being a secret serviceman. That's one of the highest ranking protective officers, you know, that you can have, police officers, so to speak. So yes, we have Zerubbabel. He was basically like a secret serviceman. So yes, Jack. Shalom, brother Moses. How you doing, Doc? No, you all right, Doc. We totally understand. Yes, we consider the new moon the dark moon, according to the scriptures, brother Jamar. So you have camps out there that celebrate the full moon as the new moon. So they see the scriptures in the book of Sirach, chapter 43, differently than we see the scriptures. So we celebrate the dark moon, and we mainly go to, you know, certain precepts like 1 Samuel, you know, what King David hid, you know, certain precepts like those are. And in the book of Sirach, chapter 43. So this is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 20 and verse 5, and it reads, and David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat, but let me go that I may hide myself in the field until the 3rd day at even. So we know how was David able to hide himself during the new moon, because it was fully dark. That's why he said that he will come about around that 3rd day, because we know that it starts to lighten back up. One of the main things is the debate that we had, you know, so brothers pulled out the precepts, and one thing that we could always see throughout the scriptures that the Most High God would always start from the dark to the light. In the beginning, there was nothing. Then the Most High God created the light, which was Christ. Then we have, like with us, going from the dark to the light. So even like with the moon, those same phases going from the what? From the dark to the light. We just follow that same process. So this is one of the precepts that we use to kind of prove that. Yeah, and that's what I was just going over with him, Brother Don Israel. Like I said, the Sabbath is not predicated off of the new moon. The moon was created on the 4th day. The Sabbath is on the 7th day. The new moon is the beginning of a new month. And that's right. So we just keep it that simple. You understand that, Brother Jamal? So I know a lot of times brothers go here. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 43. Just keep it that simple. But like I said, brothers fully persuaded on that. Hey, we all gonna see through a glass darkly, but when Christ comes back, he's gonna get us all on one accord. So brothers, do the best that you can with the understanding and the knowledge that the Most High God is giving, brother. That's why we have multiple camps out here. So if a camp bears witness with your spirit, hey, you follow what they teach. Unless brothers are setting up their own camp. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 1, and it reads, "The pride of the height, the clear firmament, the beauty of heaven with this glorious show." So this is the prophet Sirach going through the stages of the sun, the moon, and the stars. It says, "The sun, when it appeared, declaring at its rising a marvelous instrument, the work of the Most High. At noon, it parcheth the country," meaning it's the moon. The sun is at its highest at noonday. At its brightest, at its hottest at noon. It says, and who can abide the burning heat thereof? A man blowing a furnace is in the works of heat, but the sun burneth the mountains 3 times more." So we know that the sun is nothing to play with. Further letting you know how powerful the angels are, because see, in the book of Revelation, the Most High God is going to have an angel standing in the sun. So hey, that's some stuff to kind of meditate on. It says, "And sending forth bright beams, it dimmeth the eyes." I'm going to jump down. Verse 6, "He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world." So we know that the Most High God made the moon for time, for us to be able to keep time. Mainly what? Our new moons. We know it's a sign of the times. So even like when we sing blood moons, super moons, we know that the day is getting closer and closer to World War III and to the Most High God sending Christ back. We see when the moon is fully dark up there, we know that it's the start of a new moon, another month cycle. Let's keep reading. Verse 4, "From the moon is the sign of feast." So we know that the Most High God gave us the moon to be able to dictate our new moons. So when we see that moon up there dark, we know that it's going into what? A new moon. This is the calendar resetting itself. This is going into another month. It's resetting itself. It says, "The moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection." So we see these things as it's being what? A sign of the feast days. Prime example, when we was out there at Tabernacles, we had the moon bright, and it starts to decline as we get what? More into the Feast of Tabernacles. We out there on that first day, because it's a holy convocation. You see the moon bright out there. Then we starts to get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer each day that we're in the tabernacles, until it goes back out to what? Waning crescent. Then goes back to a waxing crescent. 2 days of light, going into 2 weeks of going back dark. That's how we have 4 weeks or 30 days out of the month. Shalom, shalom, Brother Hebrew Elevation. How you doing, Ox? Shalom, Dexter. Shalom. So these are some of the scriptures that we do use to prove and to show why we do follow the dark moon. It says, verse 8, "The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully, interchanging, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven." So we see This is where the word moon comes from. It comes from the word month and vice versa. So this is how we know when we see it dark, it's the beginning of a new month. So you want to make sure that you have the book of Sirach, chapter 43. The main points that you want is verse 6, 7, and 8. Brother Jose said, ever heard about Venus being called the morning star? Did they rip that off the scriptures or new teaching? Now, I hadn't heard that one out. Me personally. I hadn't heard that. But we know about the morning star. We know about Lucifer. I know Bruce just having a conversation about that not too long ago. Christ is actually that righteous morning star. Let's get that in the book of Revelations. Morning stars is going into a light bearer, a light bringer, but you have it on both sides of the spectrums. You have Christ, which is the righteous morning star, and you have Lucifer, which is the so-called white man, as the wicked morning star. Because our people follow him. His light is the ones that's shining in this captivity. Because our people do what? Look to Esau for everything. Understanding of the Bible, understanding of technology, understanding of medicine. They look to them for everything, and the nations do too. It's not a coincidence that they have that Statue of Liberty for when immigrants come in, they can see that as them being a bearer of light to this country. This is the book of Revelations chapter 22 and verse 16, and it reads, I, Yahushua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. And the churches is going into the what? 7 churches that the Israelites were scattered in Asia Minor. It says, I am the root and offspring of David, meaning Christ physically comes from the seed of David. No such thing as a virgin birth, no such thing as the Trinity. How can Christ be from the tribe of Judah if, guess what, the Most High God is actually his father? What tribe is the Most High in? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. It says, I am the root and offspring of David and the bright and morning star. This is one of Christ's titles because he's going to be that one to do what? To bring us that light. It says, what you say? To look to the heathen for their nationality. What you mean by that, Brother Hebrew Elevation? Shalom, Brother Lamar. How you doing out? Yeah, that's the point that we always kind of bring up. That really is the kicker, Brother Don Israel. Like you say, you just can't forget those 4 days. You know what I'm saying? They were established from the beginning, so you just keep it simple. Simple to that, man. Oh, yeah. Khan, yeah, you're right. Our people do look to the other nations for that light, but we got to start looking to Christ to that light. And this is going into the scriptures. Let's go to the book of John because Christ is that light, man. Christ is that light. This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 9. And it reads, let's start at verse 8. This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 8. He was not that light, meaning John the Revelator, which lighted every man that come into the world. It's like a John the Baptist, like it says, let me start over. It's the book of John, chapter 1, verse 8. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. It says, that was the true light which lighted every man that cometh into the world. So we see that Christ is that light. We should always be looking to Christ, meaning to the scriptures, because Christ is the embodiment of the word. He is the word made flesh. Oh, praise. I'm glad to hear that. But we know the Most High God works in twos. He has a good side and he always has a what? A bad side. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. This is the bad side. And a lot of times people misunderstand this. When they read this in the book of Isaiah, they think that Lucifer is literally talking about a red man with a pitchfork. No, it's not what this is talking about. This is talking about an actual man. We're going to prove that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse. Get straight to the point. 12. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 12, and it reads, How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? One of the main misconceptions that Christians misunderstand about the Bible is that they don't understand the context of heaven. Heaven has four different definitions. Heaven can mean where the Most High God dwells in the third heaven. Space is considered heaven, where the stars, the moon, and the sun resides. The sky is considered heaven, where the fowls of the earth fly. And rulership over the planet Earth is considered heaven. The last one is the context that it's talking about, rulership over the planet Earth. Verse 12, it says, How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, meaning light bearer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? I'm going to keep reading. It says, For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my thrones above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. The congregation that Esau is sitting on is Israel. When you read in the book of Psalms 40, 74, and 1 and 2, Israel is the congregation of the Lord, not all races, nations, and creeds and tongues. We're going to keep reading. It says in the sides of the north, meaning in North America. They're ruling over us in this captivity. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pits. This is the point. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man? Wait a minute. I thought that Lucifer was an angel. It's literally telling you. A lot of times, brothers and sisters have to over precept. You could just read down in the context. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble? How did they make the earth to tremble? By creating thermonuclear weapons. It says, and didst weaken the nations and did shake kingdoms. How did they shake kingdoms? By guess what? Creating that thermonuclear weapon. And then when they set it off on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that proved to the world that the so-called white man was the main power on the earth. This is the man that is talking about. This is the Lucifer that the Bible is talking about. This is that morning star. It's just on the wicked side, on the left hand. Christ is on the right side of righteousness and the morning star. Yeah, Captain Yar in the bit of Shalom. That's right. All you have to do, verse 16, is the point to show you that Lucifer is a man. No, I don't. Me personally, Brother Hebrew, I don't believe in the fat earth. You know, I don't believe it. I want you to look up this thing, because why I don't believe in it is what we would call I ain't touched on this in a while. A horizon. Thanks, man. The earth has what you would call a horizon. So if the earth was flat, a horizon is where when you see the ships go out on the horizon, if the earth was flat, you will see them going out, even though they will be far away. So we know that the earth has curvature because on the horizon, you see the ships disappear into the horizon. So that's why I believe that the earth does have curvature. It says that's the way to understand it. I didn't see it that way. The way I understood it, he made the light or the moon to rule the dark. He would be full of light. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Mike, it says, what if your teaching is false, like one body says, and you don't get payback on Esau, who ain't white, man? Or anything you gonna do because you're not Israel? I'm gonna tell you, Mike, hey, you see these prophecies that's happening in the earth, man. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna always bet on the Most High, man. We ought to obey God rather than men. So, prime example on how we know these things is playing out, because when you just go through the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, that's where I'm gonna start, man. We just gonna kind of go through some of them, man. So, remember, the curses are for a sign and for a wonder. A sign identifies something, and that's easy. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Meaning, whenever the Israelites, whoever God's chosen people is, break his laws, statutes, and commandments, he was going to put these curses on them as a nation of people. So these curses have identifying markers. All you have to do is just read the curses. This is one of the main things on how we can prove and how we know that the Bible is a true book. Simple curses like these. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all this, his commandments, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. When we look at all the nations and see what nations are cursed in the city and that were cursed in the field, it's undoubtedly so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You don't even see a North American Indian in the city. Think about it, man. They done took all the lands from our brothers, man. All of them, man. Even the ones on the reservation, hell, they done took those lands, most of them back. When you look in all the cities, we see so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans cursed as a nation of people. You see so-called blacks confined to the ghettos, see so-called Mexican Americans in the ghettos with us. What fields were we cursed in? So-called cotton field, rice grain fields, silver mines, gold mines. Our people was cursed in these fields, man. No other nation of people were cursed like us, because they would even say the Chinese, but they wasn't cursed as a nation. It wasn't millions upon millions of Chinese in those silver and gold mines. And the thing is, if they had that gold during the gold rush, they could keep it. Guess what? We was in slavery. We could not keep those things, man. So even when we just pull out certain curses like these, let's just go back down. Verse 21, the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess. So we see that, guess what? They took the North Americans' land, Native Americans, which is the tribe of Gad. They took Issachar's land, which is so-called Mexican Americans. They took those lands when the Spanish conquistadors came in 1492. We actually see these things playing out. So when you read the scriptures, you have to see in what time did these things play out on a big scale. We're not talking about Esau taking one person's land. No, we're talking about it on a grand scale. And this is what sometimes brothers and sisters do not understand. Let's keep reading. It says, this is a good one. Verse 30, the ones I like to bring out. Thou shalt betroth a wife, meaning we had wives that we were promised to, and another man shall lie with her. What is that going into? What nations of people, women and wives and sisters and daughters was raped on a grand scale, like the so-called Negroes, like the so-called Mexican Americans, and like the so-called Native American Indians? No other nation group of women were treated like our sisters was, man, on that grand of a scale, man. Y'all can pull it all out in history, man. I done read about that time in China. You know, I forgot the name of it, but it was never to the scale on how our captivity was from 1492 all the way up into today, because these things happen. It says, and another man shall lie with it. We got proof of those things, even when we saw that movie with Nat Turner. You know, when that brother had his wife and that slave master came and just took his wife. Or in Django, where they had the sister, Django's wife, had her as a sex slave. I mean, come on, man. These things are, just plain. Let me keep reading. Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look. Whose sons and daughters were given unto another race of people? We all know the history of Kizzy and Kunta. We know that, man. Even to take it here, let's see what Christ said. I'm talking about this literally a prophecy that just unfolded in Matthew chapter 24 with earthquakes. Like they literally just had a 7.2 earthquake in California. So we're going to believe the Bible over you any day, because we see the prophecies being played out. That's one thing that Israelites have an upper on the other nations. They don't understand prophecies. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. So we hear of rumors of wars. I literally just looked on CNN and Fox News and read in a title that Europe is secretly preparing for World War III. They already know that they are already in it. Only dumb Christians can't see the prophecies in the Bible playing out. So we hear of wars and rumors of war. We see what? Germany gearing up. We see Ukraine. We see Russia at odds with one another. We see Israel and Palestine at odds with one another. They're literally in a war. We see Syria in war. And the Most High God is pulling all these countries into this thing. We see North Korea being pulled into Ukraine. And then we hearing rumors of wars on the brink of what? World War III, thermonuclear destruction. It was a letter put out yesterday with Putin. He literally done targeted 14 major U.S. cities. I mean, come on, man. We see these things playing out. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. We already had pestilence. Y'all know what the pestilence was. We seeing kingdom versus kingdom. We seeing earthquakes. Just had an earthquake, 7.2 magnum on the scale in California. I mean, come on, how can you not? That's not all we talking about. We ain't brought up the white man not now time. Only time we bringing it up is when we read the book of Deuteronomy. But it's not just them that's gonna get it. It's all nations that's gonna get it. We ain't thinking about Esau, Mike. You know. It says, Mike Bishop, yep, to the scriptures say we don't be ashamed, no confounded. Stop. All praise this. Shalom, Mama Ryan. Then you have Alaska with a 6.3 earthquake on the Magna scale. Like everyone already said, no, we talk about building a great nation again. We talk about Israel, but we also identify our enemies. That's right. We have to in spiritual and physical warfare, and that's plain. That's what's wrong with our people now. Our people don't know who the enemy is, and that's what the Bible identifies for us, man. Let's get that. Talk in the spirit. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68, and it reads, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. We know Egypt is a Greek word which means Egyptos, which means bondage, because the name that the Most High God gave Egypt was Mizraim. We know that the Greeks took it over and they changed the names like they change every damn thing. It says, again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning the real Israelites would never see their homeland again. The real Israelites will never see their homeland. Who are those bastards that's over there in our homeland today? I mean, this is obvious in the scriptures. We got more. It says, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Meaning, when we got off those slave ships, we were sold to our enemies. I mean, this lines up with history perfectly. Anybody that cannot see that just don't want to see it. And the gospel has been hid to their eyes, man. I'm telling you plain. Most High God don't want you to see it. And that's all that it is. And a lot of times people don't give a damn about the destruction and oppression of so-called Negroes and Latinos. They don't care. They don't want to see it. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world had blinded the minds of them which believe not. Because you have people that believe. They don't believe they have to keep, even in Christ's words, they don't believe Christ telling them they have to keep the laws to make it to the kingdom. It says, who had blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine upon them. Meaning the Most High God don't want everybody getting this truth. So if he's saying, if you're going to stay dumb, then stay in your ignorance, man. It's not for you, man. And that's just plain. It says, Ehud Bunyamin, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 13. What you want to break down on that? What is yeah, you have to just send it to me. Send me a breakdown on the horizon point. You have to break it down. And like we always say, to tell you the truth, brother Hebrew, I don't give a damn if it's flat or circular. We just want to rule it out. But there's nothing wrong with having a conversation, though. There's nothing wrong. We just want to rule that thing flat or horizontal, spherical. I know I put in there Ephesians chapter 5, verse 13. It says, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whosoever doth manifest is light. That's a good precept, because we know what the light is according to Proverbs 6 and 23, the laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, so the laws let you know where evil lurks. We'll put it that way. Yeah, Esau gonna get it, man. And that ain't nothing we can do. So yeah, I'm like Ak. We keep it in the form of a circle, whether it's flat or spherical. Isaiah 40 and 20. But it's a good conversation we can always have. You know, that's not concerning salvation. You know what I'm saying? So that's right. Great precept, Brother Hosea, put in there Romans chapter 12, verse 19. It says, I believe it's flat too. So you believe it's flat, Brother Hebrew? It's kind of flat circle. Stew. It says the Most High flat stool on pillars. It says don't put pillars on a ball, and a ball ain't a footstool. I mean, a ball could be a footstool, though. That's the point. You know, I understand your logic in that. You know, because I'm going to tell you a lot of these things, hey, we can always meditate on these things. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having the conversation. That's right, Brother Dunn Israel. Mike, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profaning person as Esau, for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So, see, even Brother Hosea, he can testify that his dad worked in the field. It says, we worked in a migrant farming camp, and they still do that. I'm glad that Brother Hosea brought that up. Where do they think all the vegetation comes from, all the fruits? They still treat our people like that today and pay them pennies and nickels and dimes on the barrels. I mean, come on, still basically slavery today. That's a great point, Brother Hosea. That's right. Good precept, Brother Hebrew. 1 Samuel 2 and 8. Yeah, the pillars. Yeah, I understand that. Like Brother Don Israel said, Job 9 and 24, who is ruling the earth is given into them for a time. Even when we go to the book of Matthew, let's get that, man. Let's go to the book of Luke, Salakia. Because I mean, there's many prophecies in the scriptures that lets us know what's going on in the earth. And you have to be an idiot not to be able to see this. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21. Let me get straight to the point in verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, meaning who? Meaning the Israelites that were in Jerusalem in 70 AD. And shall be led away captive into all nations. So most of the Israelites were kicked out of Israel in 70 AD. The ones that remained, they put up a big fight. But guess what? They were still taken down. Christ warned them, hey, don't come back into Jerusalem, and the ones that's in Jerusalem get out and flee to the mountains, meaning go into Africa. It says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. It's giving us clues, letting us know what nation of people is in the land of Israel. It's Gentiles in the land of Israel. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Christ is letting us know that it's Gentiles living in our land until he comes back and kick them out. It says, I understand, just I've been watching one body and they teach crazy, but the detail and just make Israelites teaching on street looks food. No, you got to have your eyes open to listen to the Bible, Mike. You can't be listening to what people say. Listen to what the scriptures is saying. That's why you're going off. You know what I'm saying? You got to listen to what the Bible is saying. You got to be keeping the commandments if you are an Israelite. That's right. Even like Brother Hebrew Elevator said, the Bible prophecy is undefeated. Dang, they got because I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad that Brother Lamar said that, even with that tsunami, because earthquakes generate what you would say tsunamis, to where underground what you call that, tectonics they shift in the earth. And then it can cause a tidal wave. So yeah, y'all be careful out there. And underwater earthquake. So yeah, y'all be careful as well. All praise, brother Mike. He say Jamaica, so you would be Benjamin. Benjamin, if that's true. Yeah, you have to listen to the words. That's the point, man. You can't be listening to man. It's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. It reads, Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey God rather than men. So that's plain. Listen to what the words of the Bible say. That's why you have to open up your Bible and literally, guess what? Start to read it. Listen to somebody, except some man should guide me that you know is keeping the commandments, have a good report. This is what you have to do. Then you start keeping the commandments so that you gain more understanding, Brother Mike. You should know about the history of Jamaica. You know, that place is named after wood and water. That is not a name. That is not your nationality. That's in the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. Proverb and a byword, brother. So yeah, you want to make sure that you start reading the Bible for yourself. Brother Jose talking about, yeah, we're going to have to learn how to swim. Man, stop playing, man. We're going to be throwing them prayers up for y'all. Michael Jordan, that's not what the scriptures say. He said, in all nations. Oh, okay. I see what you said. Yeah, they do, because all nations had us in captivity, man. I don't understand, man. The nations, they don't want the curses, but they want all the blessings. Damn, didn't we have to go through the curses? So you mean to tell me we had righteous men like Daniel, Ananias, righteous brothers? I mean, had a good report. Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, they had good reports. Kept the commandments of the Most High. They still had to go under the curses. But Israelites and other nations that don't want to keep them, they could just skip freely into the kingdom. Man, come on, man. That's crazy. So yes, all nations deserve to get it, because guess what? All nations had a hand in our captivity. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O God, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. This is Asaph, a song of Asaph, asking the Most High to bring judgment on the nations, man. It says, For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, meaning angry gathering, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. He's letting us know, Most High is letting us know that the other nations hate him, man. So how in the hell he's going to let them into the kingdom? It says, They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. For they have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. How did they cut us off? By calling us American blacks, by calling us Mexican Americans, taking away, guess what, us celebrating Passover, us celebrating tabernacles, us eating clean foods, replaced it with pork. This is how they cut us off from being a nation. Let's read about these nations. First up, the tabernacles of Edom. So you got the so-called white man, which is Edom, first on the hit list. Because don't be deceived, this is a hit list from the Most High. You got Edom, then you got Ishmael, which are the modern day Arabs today. Then you have Moab, which is the modern day Chinese today. And the Hagarenes is going into Africans. These are the main nations that's on God's hit list. And they gonna get it, man. Go to another. Let's go to the book of, is that Second Maccabees 2 and 10. They got to get it, man. You thinking the Most High God ain't gonna judge these nations for what they did to his people? People's crazy, man. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 10. And it reads, What nation had not got a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? This is plain. It's even in the Maccabees. What nation have not taken us down and destroyed us and oppressed us as a nation? They all come together to keep us on the bottom. Says Shalom, brother, like no other. Says, I'm a curious of why brothers say it is an expedient to have multiple wives. Now, that's a good question. Now, it depends on your situation. Now, we would say, because it, even like I brought out last week, Brother Naquan, like you say, you have to count the cost. Now, it may not be the right time for you to have a multiple wife, but it depends on your situation. So these are the qualifications that we set up in the Battle Axe with the scriptures. First, a brother have to have experience. A brother has to have a good understanding of the scriptures. Brother has to have a job. Brother has to have his financial situation, his spirit in order. These are some of the qualifications for that. If you don't have that in order, it's your job to teach your wife. So you want to have those things in order. We're not saying that it's against the law, but you want to make damn sure that it's the right time and that you're in the right position to do it. Remember, we're at the end of the world. Brothers think about laying up. You know, with multiple wives, meaning multiple time away from the Most High, unless you have that thing set up right. So you understand that, brother, like no other. It says, I think you're a Benjamin, our praise. So tell me this, brother Michael. Make sure you come here. Rock with them, King. Yeah, we don't rock with them at all. We don't rock with them at all. Like I say, Captain Yard said, Christians have no vision past grace. So they stuck on grace. And they don't even understand grace either. You already know. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, brother Mike. One body says there was no slave ship. Man, that brother's bugged out, man. I ain't gonna lie, love Ak, but Ak is bugged out, man. A lot of people think he done took the bag, man, to go against the word, man. I'm just gonna put that out there. You know, a lot of people did. Brother I ain't gonna lie, he put it up. He showed the paperwork. You know, he showed it. Then all of a sudden he changing doctrines. Hey, you got to watch. You got to watch out for that, man. I ain't gonna lie. You got to watch out for that person that go two ways, man. Let me get that right quick. Let's go to the book of James. Double-minded man. You have a brother that was strong in the truth, man. Now he's teaching everything totally against what the scriptures say. This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 8, and it reads, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's nothing wrong with brothers saying in the scriptures where they may have made a mistake. But when you done flip all of the doctrine that you done learned upside down, when it was already right side up, hey, that's crazy. I ain't going to lie, that's crazy work right there. That thing is crazy work. This is the book, a precept for James chapter 1, verse 8. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and verse 12. And it reads, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. You have brothers that's going two ways. They double-minded in their understanding. Most High God letting us know that that foundation is predicated upon sin somewhere. Somewhere some sin, because you have to be a fool to think that it's not no evidence. They have evidence even in Alabama. You know, a lot of times all you have to do is go and look these things up on the History Channel. You know, me and my wife watch that stuff all the time, man. You know, and it's mighty funny how they saying it and they steady bringing out more and more evidence of it. It's crazy, man. Bet brother think we ain't on the bottom of society either, man. That's crazy. And they say Satan's favorite children. That's right. Earthquakes in places that don't even have earth. Like Ox said, brother Yakal, chosen God. He talking about this earthquakes in places that don't even have earthquakes. For real. They had an earthquake in New York, I think, a couple years ago. First Timothy, that's right. Keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science. Yeah, we understand that. Falsely so-called. So science is real, but if it opposes the Bible, yeah, I'm with you on that. Tell him, Monique, you can't tell him, sis, you can't save Esau. You just can't. I know August says flat earth help expose the lies of the white man and debunks that Big Bang. Oh, yeah, you know, we don't believe in no damn Big Bang evolution. There's no such thing as evolution in the Bible. And we use 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 38. where it tells you that it's one type of flesh for man, one type of flesh for animals and beasts, one type of flesh for birds, meaning we did not evolve from an ape. It's two different types of flesh. So no. Yeah. I know Oxide Khan show it as a flat with a firmament. And I understand, I know Deacon Nicole was talking about it, saying flat with the globe. I know certain brothers kind of touch on that too. So yeah, I know about those things. Even like I just pulled Isaiah 40 and 22. It says, Mike, it sounds like you're an Israelite, so just listen, King, and see if your spirit. That's right. God, Brother Don, Israel. Yeah, I kept y'all just pulled Isaiah 40 and 22. Shalom, Andres Carter says, my grandmother was gassed. They stole her in 1925 at 4 years old. Told her she was too pretty to be with us. They made her a servant for. See, you even have it there. And many grandmas and papas have those stories. I know my grandma, before she died, she would tell us how they would do it with sharecropping. And she basically told it was just literally slavery. And they just gave it a humble title, because they were still basically working for clothes and working on pennies at end. Yeah, tectonic plates. Thanks, says I started reading with better understanding after studying with y'all, and I'm starting to watch more. All praises, then, yeah. And that's always the key: reading, studying. But one of the mottos, they kept Jerbal always hella bruise at the camp 101. And like the scriptures commands us. Look at this, boy. I'm talking about my revelation. There's a lot of pages in my book done had it, Ops. That's why y'all see me with 2 and 3 flipping back. Man, even this a new Bob, and this thing done had it. This thing is, I'll give my thanks, bro. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 3, and it reads, blessed is the man that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So it's a blessing that brothers and sisters read. So the Most High God gives you more and more understanding, coupled with you what? Keeping the commandments. Psalms 111 and 10. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1. Book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. So by brothers and sisters keeping the commandments, instituting those things in their life more and more, that's how you get more and more understanding. And it's just that simple. Yeah, that's right. Christ had to go under the curse. That's another great point too. Deuteronomy 30 and 10, brother Moses says, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and thou turn unto the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's a great point, brother Dexter. That always give brothers and sisters hope. We need to see more of that, man. That's what the comment section is for. Yeah, we understand that too. Brother Lamar said, just in the animal plan, saying none of the carnivorous animals won't eat a hyena because it's unclean and smells of decay. It says Psalms 33 and 14, from the place of his habitation, he looketh upon all the inhabitants of the earth. But remember, Brother Hebrew, circle or spherical, the Most High God still could see us. Because remember, at the end of the day, we know he got a million times X-ray vision. But on top of that, he could see it anyway. It's the Most High. So it wouldn't matter if it was like a globe or flat like a disc. You know what I'm saying? It really wouldn't matter. Because we know it, and that's some heavy stuff. Even with a flat disc, remember when it's talking about he hangeth the pillars upon nothing, we know this going into gravity. It's a lot of understanding that comes with that too. So I don't, even with those scriptures, Deuteronomy 26, Psalms 33, most like God can still look down on us from a globe or from a flat earth. So no, I understand. Remember, by me being the truth, we done heard most of the points that brothers and sisters bring out. So that's why I say that. So they compass upon the face of the deep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know about Proverbs 8:27. Yeah, that's right. Remember, First Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. We all see through the glass darkly. Yeah, and that's why I don't say that, because I don't think that the sun and the moon resides in this. I think that they are out of space with the stars. I know some brothers do believe that. To each his own. Like I say, it's not a conversation that we can't have, but we know that it's not a conversation about salvation. So there's nothing wrong with friendly conversation. That's right. I was going to pull that too, Brother Dunn Israel. Revelation chapter 3, verse 15 and 16. You can't go both ways. You can't be double-minded. You have to pick a side. Either be for the Most High or not for the Most High. If you trying to play both sides, he going to spew you out. Great precept out. Yeah, that's right. You want to be on fire for the Most High. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, like a compass. Shalom, Brother Abraham. How you doing? Sorry I missed your call. My phone was still on silence from class yesterday. And then I went to go hoop, so I couldn't call you right back. Damn, an hour and 20 minutes passed by fast as hell. Oh, I just saw that, Sister Boy. Talking about Sister Yael said, do the cap, Ben and I tap, tap, tap. Y'all something else, sisters. Any other questions? Remember, y'all see what's going on in the earth while we waiting. Y'all see what's going on in the earth. Brothers and sisters have to stay. I'm talking about stay in the spirit in these last days, man. There's spirits out here that's going to and fro in the earth to pull you out. Y'all know the main precept we always go to. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, and it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, meaning the deceiver, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So we know that, guess what, his spirit's put on this earth to do what? To pull us out of the spirit, to pull us out of this truth, to pull us out of the prophecies that's going to unfold, to pull us out of the kingdom. They say, let no man take your crown. Let no man take your crown. Brother Abraham said he just got through showing these brothers who he was according to the Bible, and this Jew gonna walk up quoting verse. Then I show him 2 or more verses he ain't seen before. He all got mad. That's how they be. Y'all got praise. Yeah, even like Captain Yara said, Hebrew, if that's your belief, no problem. We say this, rather it's flat or round, we want to rule it. That's it. And that's where the battle actually stand. Whether it's flat or globe, hey, we just want to rule it. It says, I hear that, brother. They almost got me tripping off, man. What he said, he got mad and gonna say, this is why I don't debate, and walked on. I said, damn, brother, you came over here. Yeah, now I ain't gonna lie. You already know it be like that, man. Because they don't like to hear truth. A lot of times our people struggle with, I ain't gonna lie, because for a time I was one of them. I always tell y'all about that story. Thanks, Brother Hebrew. Let's get the likes up too. So I always tell y'all about that, man. When I first came into the truth, I was pissed off. Brother was ready to go do something, get gangster, basically. And it do hurt when you done been lied to and you done found it out. That thing hurt, man. Like, damn, I've been lied to all my life. That thing hurt, man. So a lot of times that'd be the same situation when brothers are breaking down the truth of the Bible from the lies that they've been taught. It's what we call cognitive dissonance, where their mind can't process the truth like that, and they struggle with it. You know, they faced with overwhelming truths and overwhelming facts, and their brain just won't let them process it. So they come out and they just argue with it because they don't have nothing intelligent to say. You know, and there's a lot of our people, man. We struggle with those things, man. Yeah, you're right. Our times do go by when you're having fun, especially going through scriptures. It said Hebrew, I subconsciously be saying the same thing. Yeah, remember, because like we say, let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 8, one of my favorite precepts, man. But because sometimes, you know, when I first got into the truth, that's one of the things that brothers and sisters must understand, that it's different camps for a reason. Most High God is using that first to utilize to get most people in the truth, you know. So we know that we're doing the best that we can with the knowledge that he has given every one of us. So it's going to be some differences until we have the master teacher step on the scene. You hearing brothers out here that's saying that they got and know 100% of the truth. I understand why our brothers from GMS say that. Yes, this is 100% of the truth, but we don't know 100% of this truth, you know. So I understand when they say that. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8. And it reads, damn, I can't even read that one. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, classic precept that we all should know, especially when brothers and sisters are struggling with differences of understanding. It's not that we can't have a friendly debate, but I know a lot of times you have brothers that keep pushing and pushing. I know, like, damn, I got let off the gas. We understand now. You know, and I know brother just trying to get those precepts that he may think a brother have not read. So, you know, we totally understand. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8, verse 9. And it reads, for we know in part, meaning what? No one has the complete understanding of the Bible. That's what it means. We know in part. We know the Bible in part. We don't know all these things. There's some brothers out there are very knowledgeable, man. And we understand from Daniel that we would know, and from the book of Psalms, King David, that we would know more than the ancients. And we do have a lot of understanding. You know, that guess what? That Daniel didn't have about the fourth beast. We know those things that Jeremiah didn't understand. That guess what? Isaiah didn't understand. So we know a lot of things, but we still don't know 100% of the Bible. That's what Christ's job is going to do when he comes back. And it reads, for we know in part and we prophesied in part, meaning we bring out the understanding in part, because no one has the full understanding. Verse 10, but when that which is perfect is come, who is that which is perfect? Going into Christ. When Christ stepped on the scene, because he is the master teacher, it says, then that which is in part shall be done away. Meaning the parts that we don't understand about the Bible, when Christ steps on the scene, he's going to give us that understanding. You know, he's going to give us that understanding and make it plain. You know, when we're in the new covenant. Got you, brother Hebrew. Brother Hebrew Elevation. So verse 10, it says, verse 11, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Verse 12, for now we see through a glass darkly. What is the glass that we see through darkly? The Bible. Meaning we can't see it clearly 100%. You know, some things that, guess what, prophecies that have to come out. Guess what? Some deep things in the Bible. You know, prime example, we always ask, what is the weight of fire? That Uriel was asking Ezra in the book of 2nd Ezra. You know, what is that? You know, so it says, for we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, meaning we're going to see Christ face to face, and he's going to give us that understanding face to face. It says, now I know in part, but then I shall know even as also am I known. So we see these things that's going to be unlocked. Lord's will, we make it to the kingdom, get through these thermonuclear fires, Christ destroying these nations, and we out there in the wilderness with him. Yeah, that's right. That's another good point. He said we're only gonna be in one accord when the king unite the two sticks fully in Zion. That's right, according to Ezekiel chapter 37. So yeah, prime example, great precept, Isaiah 52 and 8. The classic, thy watchmen shall lift up the voice, with the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye when the Lord shall bring again Zion. That's right. Luke 21, everything hid will be revealed. Great precept. Mark chapter 9, verse 39. So great precepts that brothers are putting in the chat. Say Mark 9. This is the book of Mark chapter 9 and verse 39. But Yahweh shall say, forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can likely speak evil of me. For he that is not against us is on our part. And that's right. You may have different camps out here, doing their thing, but guess what? If they not against one another, they on Christ's part. Meaning Christ is using many camps to, guess what, raise up 144,000. I don't think brothers and sisters really understand that number. 144,000, that is a lot of men. Think about it, man. That would be asinine to think that all 144,000 is in your camp. Think about that, man. That's a lot. That will be crazy to think that, brother. You don't even have 100 members in your camp, but all of the 144,000 is gonna come up out of your camp. No, you know what I'm saying. That's why the Most High God is using multiple counts. Because remember that 144,000 is just men. We're not talking about the other multitude of other men, women in church. The 1/3. That's probably even greater number. Think about that, brothers and sisters, man. That is a lot of people, man. A lot of people, man. That's a number that's hard to kind of comprehend when you put that thing on the scale, man. Let's get that in the book of Revelation, chapter 7 and verse 9. That's a big, big number, man. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7 and verse 4. Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed in 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Let's jump down to verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number. It's going to be so many, you're not going to be able to number. So, brother saying that they got all the elect out of their count, that's going on. Verse 9, that no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and psalms and palms in their hands. Who is this people that's talking about? The Israelites coming out of those nations. Don't let a Christian get y'all. Read verse 9. It's talking about Israelites that are scattered amongst those nations. Those are the ones that he is bringing out. How do we know that? Because guess what? This will contradict Matthew 24. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound and with a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. Who is Christ's elect? Who is the Most High God's elect? Israel, according to what? Isaiah 45 and 4. This is something that brothers that teach on the streets want to learn, to put Christians in a trick bag. Yeah, I know how you used to do that Connect Four. I ain't gonna lie, my brother and his friends, they some of the best Connect Four players. I'm talking about make you mad, man. Make you really want to snatch their behind. They're like, bro, how you pin me in there? And that's what brothers have to learn to start doing with the scriptures, man. Pinning Christians both ways. 12,000 for each tribe. Could I explain what you mean? Explain what Brother Abraham. 12,000 for each tribe. 12,000 men for each tribe. That's right. Yeah, that's right, sis. I ain't gonna lie with you. I just pray that the Most High God allow us to get up in that thing. You ain't lying. So these are other precepts that brothers could put with that Revelation chapter 7 and verse 9, that multitude. put that 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 5. Also, that 2nd Ezra's a great precept. That's 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 16. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee and put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude. So we see in the scriptures in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 16, Jacob is that great multitude. I mean, it's saying it plain. Revelations 21:24. I heard you break it down one time, but I didn't really grasp it like I need to. Oh, with the morning star? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That is crazy work, Brother Dexter. Yeah, so brothers can't have that mentality. You don't want to be puffed up with knowledge. You just pray that the Most High God have you amongst that elect, that sealed. That's the main thing. Oh, you said 21 and 24. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 24. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Meaning when Christ comes back with the angels, he takes down the nations. Remember, Christ is not going to destroy all races. Only race that is promised to be eradicated off the planet Earth is Esau. So remember, you still going to have some nations left over. Because guess what? We ain't cleaning up this damn planet. They going to do the work. So when Christians read this, they try to lump being saved with them being equal to the Israelites in the kingdom. This is not what this is saying. They going to be saved for slavery. This is what this is saying. That's what Proverbs is telling you. With all thy getting, get a good understanding. People read the scriptures, but they don't have a good understanding, especially Christians, man. So we're going to read it again. Revelation 21 and 24. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Meaning what? We are going to teach the nations that are left over God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's all that this is saying. What is the light? Proverbs 6 and 23. It says, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. So what is this going into? Showing you that we're not going to be on equal playing field. Because Christ even let us know, if you have to pay taxes and give treasuries to people, you are not free. You are a slave. So their kings, meaning their leaders that we'll have set up over them, they're still going to have to pay us taxes. This is what this is going into. Let's go into the book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 11. Saying the same thing. This is a prophecy that Isaiah was bringing out. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 11. And it reads, let's start at verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings, saying the same thing that we just read in Revelations, shall minister unto thee, meaning they're going to take care of us. Meaning whatever we need, whatever we want, they gonna provide. It says, for in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, meaning the gates of Jerusalem, of the kingdom of heaven on earth, are going to be open continually. Why? So that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. What are the forces? Meaning the wealth of the other nations. That's why they're going to be left around. They're going to help build up our kingdom and bring their wealth and their treasure into our treasury. This is the precept for that. It says, therefore thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. This is the point. For nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Meaning if they don't want to pay taxes, they don't want to pay us what's owed us, guess what? They're going to be destroyed. This is what Revelation chapter 21 and verses 24 is going into. You understand that? It says the scriptures also says 12,000 from the 12 tribes. Most camps are comprised of mainly 1 or 2 tribes. That's a great point. Another great point, Brother Don Israel. And I'm gonna tell you too, Brother Don Israel make a great point. A lot of times, hey, brothers and sisters, it bears witness with our spirit, but it come to find out that brother may think he Judah and may be from the tribe of Gad. Brother may be from the tribe of Issachar, man. You know, so that's a part to play in that too. That's a great point. Like I said, thinking all of it, yeah, that's great. Oh, you saying you need to now you kind of want to practice on breaking it down like that. Remember, you give them the understanding, even like I just did. You say that, guess what? Christ ain't gonna kill all the nations. But that's why you have to use precept upon precept. Want to make sure that you have that Isaiah 60 and verse 10 all the way down to verse 12. Yeah, that is. I ain't gonna lie. That's Isaiah 66 and 4 all day. Yeah, it says that. But you remember, saved have different contexts. You have to understand and break it down correct. About the Sabbath, are we dealing with Esau? Hell no. No, sis, we not. We dealing with the Most High's calendar. Remember, God's calendar is based upon the moon, sis. Esau's calendar is not based upon that. They're based upon the Gregorian calendar. So you want to make sure that you get a calendar, Sister Andres. You know, make sure you get a calendar, sis. Ehud Bunyamin. Shalom, Brother Yaakov. How you doing, Yeah, that's right. I ain't gonna lie. It literally says a remnant after the destruction. So that's a great point. As long as I'm a part of a tribe. Hey, yeah. I'm like you. As long as I'm a part of a tribe, I can go through the gate of Simeon. Issachar, I come through that mud like Gad, boy. So yeah, Sol Invictus. Remember, most of these months are named after Caesars of Rome. So, you know. Shalom, Soldier Donovan. How you feeling? You and Lil Zion, man. The prayers going up. And I brought that fever down. Says some people in the church don't read, they rely on. That's right, sis. They think the one they call, yeah, that's right. I say he burning up the road, man. All praise. You be safe on that road, Yeah, y'all make sure y'all throw some prayers for the house of Brother Donovan, man. I know I was running the fever, so pray that fever come down, man. Any other questions in the chat? Any smoke? Anything, man? That's what we're here for. Comments. Like I say, I hope brothers and sisters are watching in the streets. All praise out. Yeah, I know I got a little mucus myself. Like I say, you're trying to get this cold gone now. Yeah. I'll make sure y'all brothers and sisters be safe out there, especially with this weather. Y'all want to make sure that y'all constantly throw up prayers that the Most High God keep us in good health, man. Especially for you brothers. Y'all got to go to work, providers for the families, sisters too. You know, for the whole family, because I know a lot of times with No, what you mean by that, sis? No, us at Battle Access, we disagree with Hassad and Deacon. No, the thing is, they go by the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is not going by the new moon, sis. That's the thing. That's the difference. That's what I say. It's a lot of understanding that you have to have with that, because it's multiple thoughts on that. So a lot of times they can't say that because we know we go by the moon. You know what I'm saying, sis? But we don't teach that the 7-day Sabbath is dictated by the lunar moon. That's the point, sis. So it's a couple of understandings that you must understand, sis, with that. So we don't teach that. But the thing is, if you follow them, sis, you follow that calendar, sis. That's the thing. So it's less confusion. That's what we tell brothers and sisters. You have to be careful who you are watching. If you are a part of that camp, if you watch that camp, you follow what those brothers teach if they're coming out of the scriptures. If it bears witness with your spirit. So that don't bear witness with our spirit over here at Battle Axis, sis. So we teach the 7-day Sabbath is not dictated by the lunar moon or the new moon. You understand that, sis? It says, yes, it is that season. That's right. It says, I got written Solomon right here. But is that also touching Isaiah 53? Because it says his house will be built forever. Yeah, you can. That's always a precept that brothers could use with saying how Christ's kingdom will be established forever. Praise Sister Mary Houston, house of Brother Daniel and family. So y'all have to be careful. Don't get me wrong. I watched Hassad and Deacon Hakar, Salaki Priest Hakar, Salaki. I watch many of my brothers, but I understand what we teach versus what they teach. I understand on how I know who said that one time, Brother Dexter. Separate the meat, eat the meat and chew the meat and spit out the bone. Oh, y'all know how that saying go. Yeah, majority of camps do teach that though. There's a few camps that do go by the lunar Sabbath though. Oh, Soldier Donovan. It says, Cap, can we use Galatians 1 and 12 with Isaiah 49:5 with the whole Gentile heathen thing? Let's get that right quick. Oh, with the Gentiles. Let's see that. It may be. I got you. If you was asking, if you didn't understand me answering that question, Abraham. Say Galatians 1 and 12. This is the book of Galatians. We know that the book of Galatians is written to the Israelites scattered in Galatia. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 1, verse 12, and it reads, For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Yahushua. Let's keep reading. For ye have heard of my conversation in times past in the Jews' religion, how that beyond measure I persecuted the church of God and wasted it, meaning Christ was persecuting the church, locking us up, killing us. It says, and profited in the Jews' religion above my equals in mine own nation, being more exceedingly zealous of the traditions of my fathers. But when it pleased God, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me by his grace to reveal his son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen, immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood. Now let's get what I want, because that is a good precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 5. Book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 5. And it reads, And now, saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength. And he said, It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserve of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the ends of the earth. Now, I wouldn't put that as that, because in the context of the book of Galatia, I kind of understand where you're going, because we do use those interchangeably according to Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 31. So you have to be careful, though. I ain't gonna even lie. That's a damn good point. You have to be careful. Yes, you can use it. I will say this: you can use it, because heathen and Gentiles can be interchangeable with Israel. Let me prove what I'm saying. So I hope, brothers and sisters, that's a good point that Ak is bringing out. So that's why we teach, brothers, you have to understand the context in the scriptures. And you also have to understand the deeper meanings as well. But let's go to what I'm talking about. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20. Because Israelites were called heathen, so Israelites were called heathen. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel 20 and verse. I'm going to start up some. Let me get my own bar for this. Where it says, we will be as the heathen. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20 and verse. Get verse to the point, verse 32. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20 and verse 32. And that which cometh to your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries to serve wood and stone. So yes, brothers can use it, but you want to make sure that you prove scriptures like this showing that in the context we was called heathens, or we acted like the heathens. Now I'm gonna tell you, you have to be able to break this down. Christians will say, well, they were acting like heathens, not that they really was. You have to home in that point though. So coupling with Hosea, with the northern tribe, how the Most High God cast them off, they literally were called Gentiles and heathen. So yeah, that is a precept that brothers can put with that Isaiah chapter 49, verse 5 through 9. Galatians chapter 1, verse 12 through 15. 15 really is the point with that Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 31. So come up. Oh, no. You already know, Brother Moses. I know when y'all on the road driving. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put food on the table. As long as you in here listening. So come. Yeah, Andrews, they don't believe in Paul, but we do. Colossians 2 and 17 tell us not to judge brothers for how and they keep the Sabbath. That's right. More important, I already pulled holes, I already poked holes in it. That's right. Like you said, Andrews, everybody can debate the 7 to the eyes bleed. Israel always keep the Friday. Yeah, most of us do. Friday, sundown, and Saturday, sundown. Says I've been trying to break that chapter down. I really want to go with one day, at least half of. Yeah, I got the thing is, I can't remember the class. We have class from years ago breaking down Galatians. I know I was breaking down most of Paul's books. I can't remember the title though. I really can't. Yes, that's another good one too, Aki. Ezekiel 25 and verse 8. Thus said the Lord God, because that Moab and Syria do say, behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen. That's right. Yeah, that was the one I was looking for. Ezekiel 20 and 32. Those are my next precepts, and I said that with the northern tribe. That's right, because that Paul was talking to most of the southern tribes. Yeah, come on. That is. I'm gonna tell you, that's a good one. I ain't gonna even lie, that is a good one because we know even in the context of Paul's epistle, and that letter was written to Israelites scattered in Galatia. But that's another precept that brothers and sisters can write with that Ezekiel 20 and 32 or 31. Ezekiel 25 and 8 precepts with Ezekiel 20 and 32, brothers and sisters. The point that you want in that is how Israel was acting like the heathen and how they basically became heathens because they started to do what? Worship the heathen idols. That's the point. Come, Brother Lamar, come, man. Because of y'all asking great questions. Because y'all asking questions, great questions. Y'all already know how we do a couple questions. Make sure brothers and sisters. Because even like with me, I'm gonna tell you, man. I know with the Bible trivia questions, man. When these questions come up, man, and brothers don't know much about it, that's something that brothers and sisters can go back and read over. You know, even like myself, you know, to sharpen your swizzle. Yeah, even at First Peter's 4:3. I have to look at that. Let me look at it right quick. Did you understand that, Abraham? Did I explain that? So yeah, you can use that. Yeah, come on, sis. You said First Peter's 4:3. Oh yeah, that's another good one. That's a great one too. You know, and brothers need that'll be a good class for you to do over too. I ain't even lie, just alley oop. Show how Israel were considered Gentiles and heathens. And you kind of go into that because those are great precepts. First Peter chapter 4 verse 3. What we just went on the book first, Galatians chapter 1 verse 12. You know, Ezekiel chapter 25:8, Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 32. Those are great precepts. Yeah, I knew what you was talking about, even when you said it, because you put it down there in there, trying to mesh with Christ's kingdom being forever. So yeah. Yeah, sis. I understand that. But you know, even within that, sis, we have differences. So you just have to be careful. But I watch those same brothers too, sis. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's lawful, sis, to decorate with lights. We're supposed to do it and give gifts during the feast of dedication. Yes, that's totally lawful, sis. Let's prove that. Let's go to the book of First Maccabees. So yes, brothers and sisters, getting that dedication spirit, man. You know, make the your house look nice, man. You know, we're gonna make the building look nice. Light up those manures, man, when it comes to it. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offerings with gladness and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, and with shields and gates, and the chambers they renewed and hanged doors upon them. So they beautified the temple. You know, there's nothing wrong with making a place like where we hold class and go hold the dedication. You know, the sisters gonna make that thing look nice. You know, we're gonna have brothers helping too, decorating, hang up lights, and so on and so forth. So yes, there's nothing wrong with it. Yes, you want to get into the spirit of dedication, you know, and gifts lawful as well. That's a lie. I was talking about how I was going into the chastening with the rod. Well, it goes into that too, though. But I know you just put in there how his kingdom will be forever. You know, so that's why I addressed that. But yes, the chastening with the rod, yes, that's something that you can link up with First Samuel chapter 7 and 12 with Isaiah 53. Yeah, most definitely that. You asking for a breakdown, Brother Brother? Song of Solomon. That's a good book full of parables and similitudes and deep stuff. I know we had a couple of more and then we're finna get off the channel. I know we're at the 2 hour mark. Like we said, no time flies when we're having fun. I know Ak is asking about Songs of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, "Awake, O north wind, and come, thou south. Blow upon my garden, that spices thereof may flow out. Let my beloved come into his garden and eat the pleasant fruit." I ain't gonna lie, this thing is a heavy parable. Let me jump up. This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 11. And it reads, Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon. So we know on a deep, deep spiritual level, this is going into King Solomon, we know, which is Christ, going into how the Israelites, which is his spouse, we know that we are what? Espoused to Christ. When you read the book of First Corinthians chapter 11. This is the book of First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. So we know that, guess what? When King Solomon is breaking this down, this is a deep parable on how Christ is what espoused to the children of Israel. Salakia. This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 11. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Meaning what? The words of the word is like what? Honey. Until, brothers, when we speak it, when we teach it, this is also what this is going into. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 3, and it reads, And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll. Jumping down, then I did eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Meaning, when we teach the word to the Most High, these things are sweet to us. You know, we break it down the curses, identifying that it shows us who we are. Those things are sweet to us, man. So that's why the Bible is, the words are as a representation of a honeycomb or honey. Shalom, shalom, Princess Keo. Shalom, sis, House of Barakah. So let's keep reading. The book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 11 from the top. Thy lips, O my spouse, going into the Israelites, drop as the honeycomb, talking about the word, and milk, meaning the what? The basics of the scriptures are under the tongue. And that's what we should be teaching. You know, even go into the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 12, you know, going into the milk of the understanding, meaning the basic things, going into wearing your fringes, wearing your beards, sisters wearing modest clothing, going to simple breakdowns. It says, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon, because the Most High God uses and compares these things with first food, and he compares it with scents. Like we should be smelling of frankincense on a deeper level, going into us what? Putting on the commandments. All these things is a reference for the children of Israel keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. He's just saying it on a deep parabolic level. We'll keep reading. It says, a garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up. So we know this is going into the southern tribe because they are our sister. The Most High God compares us to two sisters in the book of Jeremiah, Holabah, and the other sister. I can't remember her name. It says, thy plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits. Camp higher with Sparkner, meaning our garden, we should constantly be doing what? Tilling our garden. Meaning what? Our garden should be constantly be bringing forth what? Fruits. The fruits is our works by us keeping the commandments. Verse 14, spikenard, going into the different spices, and saffron, and calamus, and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh, and aloes, with all the chief spices. It says a fountain of gardens, a well of living waters, and streams from Lebanon. Lebanon makes reference to the nation of Israel. Meaning, when we're in this particular type of spirit, man, it's a well springing up with understanding. Verse 16, awake, O north wind, and come, thou south. Blow upon my garden, that the spices thereof may flow. My beloved came into his garden and eat his pleasant fruit. So, no, this is not about sex, brother Broader Black. This is just about a deep parabolic message that Solomon is talking about Christ, which is him, and the children of Israel doing what? Applying God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's all that this is going into. Ox said he would cook, but he can't cook to save his life. Well, don't cook, Ox. Don't burn nothing up, man. Well, we can give all type of gifts. Brother Lamar said, "What gifts can we give?" So sisters exchange gifts. They, whatever's on your heart. Don't make a big deal about it. Whatever is on your heart that you give, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now it's just a deep parabolic precept about Christ being expounded to the Israelites and them being filled with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Beloved is Israel, so that is another way to show it's going into his people. That's right. That's another great point too. Obviously from Baruch chapter 3. So yeah, brothers and sisters can give gifts on those days, beautify your houses where you stay. Like I said, we're gonna also beautify the building as well. One trivia question, Bible trivia question. Let's see, it's a hard one too. I ain't gonna even lie. I know my wife and myself coming up with questions and whatnot. Keep brothers and sisters in the spirit. Just some questions that y'all can just read over if you don't know the answers. Because I ain't gonna lie, some of these questions I didn't know. So it was this one. There's one that specifically read about. Let me see what brothers and sisters are up on it. I don't want to ask that. I ask that one real quick and ask another. What brother and sister know how many cities were given to the Levites? Do any brother or sister know? How many cities were given to the Levites? How many cities were given to the Levitical priests?
Google gave you down. Did you hear?
No, that's why I didn't have an answer. It's that damn brother Abraham.
Google answered it
for real? I ain't heard Googling their answer. Shut up, Google. Shut up, Jonathan Lee. No, ain't none. I know, Sister Danielle, Brother Moses, Brother Dunn, you off by 6. Yeah, 48. When you reading the book of Numbers. Book of Numbers, man. Let me see if let me go through it. Yes, when you read the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 7. So all the cities which ye shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. Them shall ye give with their suburbs. Y'all know how we do. I just told y'all to put the precept up in there too. Yeah, you wrong. So you got Brother Dunn Israel put 42, but I was wrong. So Brother Moses got it. Sister Danielle got it. Brother Brother Black got it. I don't know what garland is, sis. But yeah, you can decorate using lights. My wife, she do it too. You just better make it. Oh, the long green stuff. Yeah, that's how my wife decorates, sis. So yeah. Yeah, they got something, Brother Jamal. No, Brother Moses, that would be an unrighteous thing. I mean, Brother Abraham, to let her do that. That's why she didn't answer questions. She was only answering questions that Captain Jerubal and Captain Yar was giving out. No, I understand your thought, but no. Remember, they got land. They got like the suburbs. They were scattered amongst the Israelites because they had to do the sacrifices. Nah, yeah, all right. 48. It's another hard one, man. Be the last one. It's something for y'all to think on, man. What was that one? I had it. I was going to ask them too. It's kind of hard. Not that one. Oh, that's too damn hard. I wouldn't dare. Hold on. Look through right quick. It was one that I had. And y'all don't be Googling them answers, man. No, they didn't have no inheritance. When it talks about that, like they didn't have a region of land called Levi. That's what it means by that, Brother Abraham. But they had to live somewhere, so they got certain suburbs when you read in the book of Numbers. No, I got a lot of faith in them. Yeah, for real. No cheating, man. No Googling. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, the Lord and the angels is watching y'all too. Y'all, man, no damn cheat, man. Y'all try to look it up in y'all scriptures. Okay. No, work. Okay. Damn, that's kind of easy, man. Hold up. And that's another precept for that Songs of Solomon that just thinking about that. What damn, this damn. I'm trying to give y'all a hard one, man. Y'all, man, y'all better not look it up, man. I got one. That's too damn hard. What are the other names of the Sea of Galilee? What are the other names of the Sea of Galilee? What are the other names of the Sea of Galilee? Who got it? Ain't no damn multiple choice. What are the other names of the Sea of Galilee? Any brothers? I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of hard. I'd say I didn't know that. No multiple choice. That's why brothers really have to know it. No, ain't no damn the universities. No damn the universities. So I ain't gonna lie, brother Moses be on that thing, man. What's the precept? No, not the capitalist, sis. Brother Moses be up on that thing, man. Sister Mary Houston, where you at? Say, I on that thing too. Gennesaret and Tiberius. You just give it to you. What did it say, John? Yeah, John 6:1. The Sea of Galilee is also known as the Sea of Tiberias or Gennesaret. Sis said she didn't know. Brother Donovan put it in there. Or Brother Titus, John 6:1, which is the Sea of Tiberias. That's right. Yeah, that's a hard one for y'all. Sister Mary Houston, did they tell y'all your sisters got beat by the Brews yesterday? Your sisters got beat, man. They say that's some things that brothers and sisters can look over, man, kind of read up on those things. Y'all know y'all gonna be doing a little harder ones for next week. I had to read back over that. I ain't gonna even lie. So John chapter 6, verse 1, I gotta put that in my mental note. Y'all know how we do it, man. We always tell brothers and sisters keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Sister Mary is talking about, yeah, it's about time. So I'm gonna block that comment. Brother Daniel, block that comment for me. I know my Ock out there, man. He rooting for us out there in H-Town, man. Battle Axe is H-Town. But y'all know what we do. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. So I always tell brothers and sisters, we always bring out a law. So any laws do brothers and sisters have? What laws? Put them in the chat, man. Let's read them. Put them in the chat. See what brothers and sisters got. I don't know who that was. Brother Jamar said, "Tell me who's coughing." Oh no, that was my wife. She laughing at Sister Mary Houston. That's her sister. So I know y'all know by now. I put in her Deuteronomy 12 and 30. A lot of times, brothers and sisters, if y'all didn't know, after class, we always kind of do trivia questions with brothers versus sisters. So I ain't gonna lie, brothers was on it yesterday, man. They beat the sisters. Sisters have been beating them for a few times. I'll put it to you that way. But brothers beat the sisters, man. I can't lie, brothers beat them sisters, man. Yeah, you know I gotta root for my bruise a little bit. We root for the sisters because sisters do take great notes. I can't even lie. We always give sisters that they take great notes. That's something that the bruise could learn from the sisters. We sure will be on the bruise by taking them down notes. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12 and verse 30, and it reads, "Take heed to yourself that thou be not snared by following them. After that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, How did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise." So that's a great precept. I know I was bringing inside in Count 101 a couple of weeks ago. Don't take to their gods. Don't take to Thanksgiving. Don't take to Christmas. That it snare you in. Remember, brothers and sisters, we got feast of dedications, man. It's not one day, it's 8 days. Man, you can have your place decorated for 8 days, even before then, to actually get into that spirit. So that's a great law that I put out. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19 with Brother Moses. Always the classic. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 14, and it reads, "Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear thy God." So we want to make sure, like we say, brothers and sisters, not putting stumbling blocks. I got to add a little extra. Brother Hosea put Leviticus 19:7, "If thou be eaten at all on the third day, it is abominable, and shall not be accepted." I not beat, a beating. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7, and it reads, "And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk with them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up." There's always a classic law that brothers and sisters need to constantly be trying to institute for your children. When y'all taking them to school, putting them in certain situations, asking them what they would do, what law would they apply. That's always good, because it's not only teaching when you have the Bible open, but also when you have it closed as well. So great laws that brothers and sisters put in the chat, man. So you ain't lying, Brother Jamal. I'm talking about, man, they got them journal Bibles, man. Sometimes they do. Says Shalom. One scripture I want to understand more is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 12 through 18. I looked that up, probably do a class on it, because I think you had asked that once before. That's why I asked you last week. Now my pastor, Shalom, from Alabama, man. Yeah, you can make a meal. Most definitely, Brother Jamal. Make a meal. Remember, that's a high holy day that it's not commanded on what you should eat. You know what I'm saying? So, the peace offering. Thanks, I knew it was an offering. but I was trying to remember which one it was. So Brother Hosea was saying that is for Leviticus 19:5 for a peace offering. You can't keep leftovers out. So I know that, I just say that for since we don't keep the sacrificial law, but not, and when in doubt, I mean it's still a law. So that brothers and sisters should know about. But with that, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahweh Shai, I pray that brothers and sisters edify. Remember, brothers and sisters dealing with something, reach out to get some counsel. So we here for it, man. Pray that brothers and sisters stay in the spirit. Pray that the Most High God bless brothers and sisters to stay in the spirit on this work week, man. Well, yeah, you can. Because I mean, you might as well make it a meal because you got to eat every day anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, remember how we do it at Battle Axe. We know we can't celebrate it all 8 days. You know what I'm saying? So, best believe, my wife she'll be decorating, where we stay. You know what I'm saying? So, best believe when you do eat, just make it nice to the Most High. No, you can fast on the feast day. Remember, Brother Hosea, Christ fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. So within that 40 days and 40 nights, it was a new moon, and it was like what? 6 7-day Sabbaths. Yeah, we can't eat, sis. Try to make plans to come down for like Passover or something, dedication, those or tabernacles, so yeah, you can fast. We even have during that time. So yeah, you can fast on those days. But with that, we give all honor and praise to the Most High and to His Son Yahweh Shah. For the brothers and sisters in the spirit. Let me say, rise, O Israel, Shalom. Yeah, that's basically what we do. Just eat, have a good time, eat, drink, just be merry once amongst one another. So with you and your family, yeah, most definitely. Not my pastor. Doors open all the time. Kwam Yasharala for real, brother Don Israel. It's doors open anytime, man. You trying to come, reach out to one of us, man, so we give you the address and hey, the doors is open up. So yeah, that's basically what we do, brother Jamal. Just have a meal. That say Shalom, Israel.